All right, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Payday Pips, Next Wave Analyst. We're checking out what's going on this week, top-down analysis. You know, we like to kind of check out the news first, check out the fundamentals, get the sentiment down, and then go into the technicals, make sure they line up, right? This week, the most important thing on the news, I'm going to stop spending a whole lot of time on the news, to be honest. Just straight up because most of our plays are based off of technicals. But the most important thing to understand is there's usually one or two really important news events throughout the week. It's with the dollar. Now, if you're trading all the other currencies, you're going to get caught up in the mess. But for the dollar, really, there's usually one or two or none important news factors of the week. This week is going to be on Thursday with the not unemployment, but the GDP. Okay, the GDP for the US dollar. And there's GDP for CAD, there's GDP for GBP somewhere, I believe. Let me check Forex or the economic calendar over here. Yeah, GDP for the GBP, so for the pound. There's a bunch of other news this week, to be honest, but this GDP quarter two is predicted to come out negative. It's just going to further send us into a deeper recession. And if it comes out worse than expected, that's terrible. So let's just look at these numbers really quick, and then we're going to get into the charts. We're going to start with the dollar. We're going to look at all the currencies. We're going to check out gold, and then we'll look at the stock market. So just negative, 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 negative. So we have, they're predicting it to be negative 0.6 again, which to me, I feel like we are going to continue to just drop even lower, but this is almost considered a technical recession, I believe. The three versions of the GDP released, month apart, advanced, second, and the final. So we're on the final right now. So we're going to see these numbers come out, and it's not good, especially with the price action that we got last week with the Fed raising rates. They haven't changed their sentiment at all. So we're still expecting the Fed to continue to tighten, to continue to raise rates, and we are going to expect nothing but a bullish dollar, basically. Okay, long story short, bullish dollar. So let's hide this. And when we look at how the weekly candle closed, I know the monthly is going to close next week, so we'll really get a good picture of what this is going to do next week. But I mean, let's be honest. By the looks of it, I think we know what's going on. Let's go to full screen mode and kind of get into some things. Let me kind of just get some chats open on my other screen real quick, and then I will be able to. Oh, it won't let me. Okay, hold on. Get out of the full screen mode to bring my chat over. Nope, it still won't let me bring my chat over. Okay, well, that's fine. No chat. If you got some on the chat, I'll check it. I'll check it momentarily. All right, guys. So let's see. Let's hide this. Let's get this out the way. All right. So the dollar basically, nonetheless, is just ridiculously bullish, right? Insanely bullish. We're not gonna. We've been saying it over and over and over again. Check the tapes. We're not calling the top on the dollar just yet because it's not ready to roll over. It's just not. Extremely bullish. There's no way around this. Okay, so long story short, we're really not looking for anything other than the dollar to continue. Now, it is in an interesting area where it's coming into, so supply over here. But with the current price action, the momentum is just too bullish to really just expect it to turn around. Okay. On the daily, we got that Friday, just a super bullish candle, good volume. You had the good volume on the weekly as well, guys. So there's just nothing telling me reversal. I don't care how high it is. That's good pricing. I see the momentum is flat right here. Okay, kind of, but look, it's starting to break up even from the last thing I drew. So nothing's telling me reverse yet. This was the divergence fib that I drew. I'm gonna go ahead and just delete it because, guys, I'm not playing the sells today or tomorrow or pretty much anytime soon. This zone ended up holding really nice from the weekly analysis and got the move to the upside. So now how do we play this? Well, there's still all of this liquidity down here. I'm gonna delete it because its price has to come way down to even get into this. I'll leave this one right here, and this is going to be a monthly profile. So the month of August is when this was the main price, you can say, for the month of August. Now the month of September, we got this price over here. So let's just copy and paste this over here. And this is pretty much the price that we're focused on. Now, if price comes back into here, we can only expect it to go bullish at this point. All right. So let's go into the 4-hour. Let me put my iPad on. And now we're getting increasing momentum here. So that's called convergence and not divergence, right? If it was diverging, it would look like this. We're converging. So we should expect a pullback and then a move up. And there is a weekly point of control here. So last week, here was the most traded price. That's a 110.5, basically 110.5. And I do need to take this off real quick. All right, there we go. And let's go into the 1 hour really quickly and see. Yeah, there's nothing telling me to short this. The only thing I will even consider to look for shorts on the dollar this week would be, yeah, it's not even going to be, because if it breaks below here, I'm still going to look for buys in this area. So what it's going to have to do is it's going to have to continue up with divergence on the MACD. So that's risky, and that's trying to catch tops, but that's the only way I'm going to sell it. I'm not going to, I guess the second way I would sell it maybe is if it gives like one wave of divergence and then gives me some type of a swing to call. Cause when this breaks, it's probably going to continue to go up. Honestly, I know that sounds kind of ass backwards, but this is most likely just going to serve as liquidity. I mean, just look at where the volume is, guys. I know a lot of people teach equal lows, but I'm literally showing you where the actual volume is for the month and for the week, last week. So when price gets into here, I wouldn't necessarily just call it a area to short from. Just maybe if it looks like, I don't know about that. It might do something like this, right? Because that's what it's been doing. So you got to just expect that. All right. We're going to be playing something like this on the dollar. Something like this on the dollar, maybe something like this on the dollar, maybe. All right. So there's not really anything to mess with, to be honest. I don't love the way that the market looks. Now here's euro. We barely missed the sniper. Okay. We barely missed the sniper direction on point. Okay. That was last week's analysis. Let's get into this week's analysis. Let's go to the weekly. Did I just click the wrong button? Weekly. No, I didn't. Perfect. All right. Now we are still minorly diverging on the weekly time frame, but with this type of price action, we're not here for the buys just yet. We're not even questioning it, to be honest. So we got to wait for, honestly, if I'm going to buy the euro with confidence, I want to wait for this area way up here. We'll be able to see it on a lower time frame to break. This doesn't need to be marked. Only thing that's important on the weekly analysis right here is this bearish candle. Yes, it didn't have as much as the week before, which might show a sign that they're testing the lows and they might be not seeing as much activity as they thought, which could give them a sign to reverse it. But as of now, let's not even, every single time someone has tried to buy the lows of the euro, all of 2022, they have lost. So let's not trip on that at all. We're not even going to think about buying this thing yet until it gets to maybe the bottom of the channel, right? Not right now though, as it's breaking this low here with decent volume. I wouldn't say it's right increasing volume, but this isn't low volume by any means. Above average for sure. This would be low. This would be average. This would be extremely high. This would be high. All right. At this point, this is most likely coming down here to test this bottom of the channel. If we get lower time frame divergence, that would be a good opportunity, if especially if it lines up with the dollar giving some bullish opportunity, bearish divergence opportunities, right? Getting my words mixed up. I typed in 4G. Here we go. So yeah, this swing is pretty much done for, in my opinion. We have this move down, retracement, and then we get another move down. I think we're pretty much done with that swing right there. It's coming into some divergence fib I had marked off a while ago. I'm going to get rid of that because like I said, not seeing any divergence right here. Okay, so we're going to need to make a complete retracement and then another wave down in price to even give 4-hour divergence. It's not, it's most likely just going to continue down. As much as I want to find a reversal on it, it would be smarter to just play the trend at this point. The thing about these type of moves is it's extended baby retracement, extension baby retracement, small extension, whack move, but ended up falling down. Then we get a deeper retracement, but still not like into, you know, a good area, a deep retracement for this, I guess. But then another extended move. So to me, this looks very overextended. And at this point, if you try to continue to just like take these short pullback sells, you're going to get wrecked soon. But I don't know. That's just my style. And that's how I see it. I see that this is kind of not really a sustainable downtrend. It's angled too deep. It's angled too deep to the downside now. So eventually this is going to form some type of divergence. At this point, it's not. I think the only move I see on the euro would be for it to come back into this, which would line up with the middle of the channel and then fall. There's always that opportunity where it ends up actually coming into this bigger kind of zone right here and then falling. But that's the only play I see on the euro. And then if it does continue to kind of do this short bullshit, eventually it's going to form some type of divergence here and give this kind of a look to give this type of an opportunity. All right. So either I'm shorting here, or this is going to extend down and we're going to have to try to play the pullback. And that pretty much is going to be on every pair from now on, I think. Let's go to the pound. Oh, whoa. The pound has something else to talk about because this thing took, man, it took a dive. And you know what? This is because there's so many people who trade it's because we were taught a certain way at a retail level. But just look at, you know, how many people had their stop losses right here-ish with probably buy orders with no stop loss, to be honest. And the market is just, Now, long term, I'm talking macro to the macroest macro. We can delete these because the market ain't coming back to that anytime soon. And we can delete this pattern because that got wrecked, right? But and I'll be honest, guys, patterns are around 60 to 70% maximum. Like they aren't holy grail. So if you've been taught patterns, you find like the ones you love and stick with those. Don't try to chase every pattern. Macro perspective, the second that price makes a candle just as big as this one and gets back even close to this open, I think this is going to start to end up doing a macro reversal, similar to how it did on this candle. So if next week, which would be amazingly cool to see this pop right back up, I would expect this to come all the way back up here. But at this point, no, sir, we're not suckers. So let's just let this fall The volume is huge. Okay, the volume is the most volume we've seen as it's breaking big candles. So yeah, this is the sign of continuation. If it, like I said, dead reverses, we'll know. But as of now, no, sir. And even selling it into this right now is a little bit, in my opinion, just a hair out of my comfort zone, just because it's fallen so much. Here is a monthly point of control though. All of September right here. So we have the 2020 low. We have September's price action. If it comes up there slowly, I think it will fall, but I don't think that's this week type shit. 4 hour, and here's the obvious little manipulation here, and then the big move. So that's the area where there's the monthly control. So a lot of people teach that manipulation as well, but the liquidity, the volume is what you really want to start looking at, right? Here is another area where I could see price possibly getting all the way back up here. This is a weekly point of control, and then it would need to get here first. So we'll talk about this price first. If price gets all the way up here slowly, like I said, I think this will be a reaction to the downside, depending on what the dollar really does, because this is some big volume, real big volume. Let me see when this thing is going to start to diverge, because that's going to be a play that I'm going to have to look at, because it's just extended so far. I don't love to catch tops and bottoms, but if it gives me a nice wave pattern, right, it has to wave out, because this is a nice momentum wave. If we get a correction and then another wave down in price, that kind of gives me a pretty wave, not this type of stuff. I need to see like this is a nice wave. You see how wave down, wave up, wave down. Okay, we get a wave down, wave up, wave down. That's pretty. This right here would be ideal. Okay, and then I would look for a random bullish push. It would be sketchy. So I don't even like telling people about my divergence plays, because they won't get it. So let's not even look for that. Let's just kind of maybe think about this is going to be a spot where it could sell off at, because this thing is bearish, my friends. Bearish. All right. That's probably like a 15-minute play, to be honest, with your stop right here. Really good risk to reward. We're not going to get into lower time frames on this analysis. The Aussie, we'll talk about it quickly, but I'm not a fan of it lately. It's losing strength big time right now, but it's still pretty much stronger than all the others, I would say. Let's get a impulse fib out here, and we're coming into the 61.8. We're getting still bearish week. We're not really trying to buy anything just yet, but there is a good amount of divergence here. So the momentum is kind of lying, or the price, I would say, is lying, maybe rather. So where's my colors? There we go. And we're coming into a backside of a trend line. So you can see this little nice channel that it's in. I mean, I'm here for it to reverse. It just has a lot to do, a lot. That's why I'm okay with these lower time frame divergence moves. If those could play out, that would be great. There is some 4-hour divergence here as the market's making lower lows. We're seeing momentum not quite getting there. So that's a sign to me that it doesn't maybe want to go too much lower. So I'm a little cautious on selling for sure. 1 hour is where you get this pretty divergence, right? So if it does make one more move up and then kind of another, just, trying to test these lows, basically is what it would look like. And this momentum gives me a nice pretty wave right here, 3 waves. I might even look for the Aussie to turn around this week, and I don't even care for the Aussie. But it kind of looks a little bit better to me. And not even turn around. It would be a straight up correctional play, like a mean reversion. I'm half risk type, just a play with the market with a little bit of probability in in the sauce. Looks like this missed last week, just barely missed the 78.6 direction was correct. Let's see. Let's see what we're looking at on a weekly maybe, because I can't really see much right here. Okay, so it hit this, barely missed the 78.6 on, let's say, a daily perspective, right? This fib right here missed the 78.6 and then started to drop. Let's go ahead and delete some of these lines. At this point, it's at the bottom of a channel. I don't know if it's going to continue dropping or not. Let's go to that weekly candle again. And I mean, that's a weekly pattern right there off of a weekly, looks like a yearly. So you don't see this very often, but price rejected off of the yearly point of control. So I do want to mark this off. All right. We don't see that very often. Let's go into the daily and see, okay, we got this rejection off this one. And now this is also a monthly. So I'm just going to make this yearly POC, monthly POC. Very important price. Let's go into the 4-hour. Just above it, there's a weekly point of control. So I'll just mark that off like this. And so what this is telling me is price is most likely going to come back up into here and then probably come grab this. So we'll mark this off as well, which is a weekly. And, you know, if it's going to stay within this channel that it's been in, it's probably going to react sooner than later. All right. If there's a fib from here to here, it's right at that 78.6, rejecting right above it. So it's pretty damn close. It could easily go bullish here. It's just been choppy. So we're going to continue it to say it's going to go choppy actually. Now to play it more on a shorter time. So ultimately, the most player move in the world would be if it comes up here first and then comes down here one more time, gets this, and then way up to the upside. That's player. If not, I would be okay with it coming here, then up there. That's okay. Those are the two ways I'm going to be playing this. So if it comes up first, I'm shorting. If it comes down first, I'll be buying. The targets, though, are going to just be continuing to play this. Now, if I'm wrong and this just slides through, well, then we'll just only look for sells, basically. Pretty easy. All right, 1 hour. The 1 hour is giving away the divergence pretty nicely. So if it does make this move down, one more move down, I do think it's going to come right into this divergence, and that'll be like a sharp move. Now, if it doesn't quite hit the weekly point of control, but it does make a sharp move down like this, sometimes it doesn't get hit. It's good enough for me though, and I'll be looking for that type of play. Okay, so I don't like to keep marks on my chart like that, but y'all saw what I'm looking for. All right, let's look at the JPY, and this is getting interesting, and we might see a play on it sooner than later. So I was looking at this as this Wyckoff accumulation, and I don't think I'm wrong still. I think we're getting it perfectly. It just didn't give me exactly how I wanted. So I just marked off the phases. This was the ST and phase B. This was that last move, and then we got a big move up. So look, we might be seeing this move right here this week really soon on the yen. I want to take a top-down analysis approach on it first and really dive into it. I don't believe they raised rates yet. Can someone look into that for me? They probably didn't because they haven't yet, but I believe last week they had an opportunity to. And, you know, to be honest, with all of the other currencies, and this is how I'm looking at it straight up, with all the other currencies, with the dollar having a bullish engulfing, and then the freaking everything else having a bearish engulfing, right? On the weekly, this at least is giving an opportunity, right? if we're talking what's the best opportunity this week, hey, right now, to me, the yen looks like it has an opportunity. I'm going to delete all this and just give myself, I don't know why there's two old all-time lows. So now I got to really look at this. There we go. That one's good. Let's move it down a hair. Perfect. All right. And then let's go to the daily, weekly. Yeah. So the weekly has an opportunity. It's saying at least at the bare minimum, hey, we might not want to go lower. We're getting these 1, 2, 3 pins to the downside. At least we might want to come retest this. Maybe. Let's go to the daily. And we're getting some type of volume coming in on the bulls. 1, 2, right? Even here. So if you want to count this as a, possibility, it's ugly, but I'm seeing bullish signatures come in at the bare minimum. Okay. Bullish signatures coming in, stepping in. We're right here at this. This would be a monthly point of control. We'll go into the 4-hour. And this is also last week's point of control. So it's a monthly and a weekly. Okay, these are the ones that have really good reactions usually. And so you can see right here, as this one got hit, it went a little deeper, but then ultimately, boom. That's what I kind of want to see right here, a little deeper and then boom. I want to see if there's any type of volume within here on the lower 1-hour time frame. What I do like about this as well is that each time it did make a bullish move, the momentum kind of increased a hair. Okay, that is a good sign to see. The bullish move right here is only 2 candles. I am keeping that noted. Sometimes in the Wyckoff phase, there's fake outs to both sides, up and down. So I understand that, but I do like the volume. I like the opportunity is what I'm really trying to get at. I like the opportunity. Okay, I don't know what all of this is over here, but we're gonna go ahead and delete all that stuff. Do I have any more? Nope, perfect. Okay, let's go into the 1 hour and see if there's anything, Nathan. Not really. So I wanted to see some type of volume in this. So what I'm going to do, I wanted to see volume right here. Let's delete this. And I don't think I have the tool out, and it doesn't matter. Regardless, I'm still going to take the opportunity this week on the yen right here. And to me, this just looks like the best opportunity. We got a nice bullish impulse, kind of correctional flag here. Seeing if we can get another wave up on the yen this week. Just one more wave. It'll be pretty much similar to what we see right here. It's something like this. And I mean, I could see it not even hitting the 78.6. It might not even go that high. I might just stop right here. And if that's the case, it looks like we will be coming into, yeah, that's a good spot, right? Here we go right here. Actually, this is where we target, which would be a weekly point of control or a monthly point of control, my fault, which is exactly what we need to be targeting anyway, liquidity. So downside, a little bit more, and then I want to try to bring it up. A little risky, no cap, but hey, we got to risk it for the biscuit sometimes. I know I've been saying I don't want to try to catch the bottom of the yen, and you can watch that over and over and over again. But at this point, I think, with this little steal off right here, okay, and then, manipulation, obviously. And then right here, we failed to break lows. So we're good right here. So higher high, higher low, at least a higher low. Now we get a higher high. I'm looking for a little trend shift right here, which to me looks like the best setup of all of them. JPY didn't raise their rates. Well, that lowers the probability of this playing out to the upside, but that's okay. That's okay. I still technically looks the best to me. Let's go into gold. Excuse me. Let's go into gold now. And this is an interesting one. I want to keep this level will not hold on there because, I mean, guys, y'all got to go watch the weekly analysis, I think, because I know a lot of people was trying to buy gold last week, and there were some opportunities, and there were some good opportunities. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have bought it, but for the overall bias, let's not get it twisted. So let's check this out. Let's go to the weekly. And what I think is about to start happening is I think we're about to start seeing price head towards 1571 very fast. There's not a lot of volume holding it up here. So let's show that on the bigger picture. There's not a lot of volume holding price up here. So really one or two things are going to happen. Price is either going to search for the next level of liquidity and then possibly move up. It really doesn't have to move up, but if there is nothing holding it back, it's going to move fast, or it's going to move fast out of here and say, nope, not interested, right? It's got to find some type of interest though. Let's go into the daily. And with this type of volume, we've been speaking about how the volume is increasing on the downside. We're going to continue to break lows until the volume starts to decrease, and it's not. So we're not going to see that happen yet. We're, 2 levels deep into where we need to hit liquidity. We're just most likely going to keep going this way, especially when this level didn't hold. A bunch of people were looking for this level to hold. The only way it's even possible to buy gold at this point is if this whole thing reverses. It has to shoot 100% reverse on like the daily in maybe the 4-hour minimum. And 4-hour, I would consider the 4-hour heavy. But at this point, you got 2 options. You either think it's coming down here, or you either think this is gonna hold and price is gonna reverse back above. And I will genuinely wait for all of this. At this point, it's either you want to play this move here or you want to play this move here, because it doesn't matter. Either one, it looks good. So this is in a downtrend. You want to probably stay with the trend. But if this comes up with some speed, you might get wrecked, and then this might give you a nice little correction, little Wyckoff spring right here. This is still an area we want to wait on, though. We want to look at. This is a weekly point of control. And if price gets up there first, before even given an opportunity for buys, if it just goes, well, then I might look for this big sell-off, and this would just be a steal off on liquidity, right? So there's a bunch of different ways to play gold right now. I think it's going to be a tough one. I think if you're not a gold trader, you might want to half risk on gold this week, because I have a feeling it's going to play a lot of people, just like it did right here, right? A lot of people got mixed up in this big move right here, big down move, big up move, big down. Okay, no. So probably the highest probability this week would just be this to this. No cap, just keep it simple, stupid. But in fact, that's how I'm going to play this. That's how I'm going to play gold this week. I'm going to wait till it gets up to this level. Will not hold. It lines up too perfectly with the 78.6. And then I'm looking for a down move to, at least a 1 to 2, at least back into this, area where price agreed at. But ultimately, it could slip. And if you're one of these type of traders, this is really your move, to be honest, all the way down into here, which could set you straight for the month. Might hold a little bit on that, right? Yeah, gold is definitely one of the easiest manipulated currencies I've traded my whole career. So for anyone who is maybe newer to trading or looking for a currency to like stick to, find one and stick to it, gold is one of those where if you don't like to get manipulated, don't trade gold. Silver is something I look at for confirmation, and silver is looking very bearish as well, but it does have this possibility that I want to mark off there. And then it didn't quite get to the bullish fibs that I wanted it to get to the other day. or let's say the other week. So it's definitely still has an opportunity to come into here like this and form boom, 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 boom. That would, I mean, I would be very bullish on silver if it does that. Let's go in just to like the 4 hour really quick, just to see if I can get some confirmation. Yeah, I'm gonna watch out for the bulls right here because I see that play definitely. It kind of broke some structure. There were some agreements right here, and then price fell through, but then we broke straight through all that. Now it did also come right into the supply area, so that's that. Didn't quite break the major structure. It could just be, you know, doing that number right there, but there still might be somewhat of a play here. I think on the 1 hour though is where there's the real play. And we had this distribution, sign of weakness, UTAD test, sign of, another sign of weakness. I think we're going to start to see something like that on silver. So this would be more or less the play, maybe from here to here. Let's bring out some fibs. All right. Screen real quick. No, okay. Why is it not letting me? So yeah, that would make sense to me. That would line up gold coming up here, boom, boom. And then silver doing the same thing after this distribution. I can also see one more possible move like above this. Bam. That would be unfortunate, but I can also, if that happens, I'm here for the move down, to be honest. It's the same thing. These look like they could easily get manipulated this week, so you got to watch out. I really only can tell you that through experience, looking at the market every Sunday and seeing it set up, and then having a legitimate photographic memory. Okay, the oil, some people think it's coming to 60, so, or I guess it would be 62, 60, whatever. Some people think it's going to make new all-time highs from here because it's in one of those areas. Do you know what that means? Volatility. That's all. That's what that means. Tons of volatility is about to come into the market. It's weird how the S&P is at an interesting area. The dollar's making new all-time highs, freaking, or not all-time highs, but all-time highs for the year. Oil's at an interesting area. Bitcoin's at an interesting area. Everything, gold, everything's at an interesting area. So you know things are about to start going crazy. You should at least. All right. So that in my system, those are times where I back off. Okay, because I'm not a risky trader. I'm not your favorite YouTuber because I don't have a million freaking YouTube views to back up my million losses. That's how they trade. That's not how we trade. But right now on oil, we're getting somewhat of this break. Momentum is following it. I'm not here for the bulls just yet. In fact, if the bulls are going to really step out, this was a fake move down right here, and we'll see an immediate reaction back up. If this was fake. If it's not fake, we'll see the bears continue to like tell the bulls to kind of F off, and we'll probably see another move to the downside. At that point, we'll have to see how the momentum looks, because if the momentum at that point is starting to diverge, that will make this look a lot more attractive to the upside. But right now, with the current momentum, it does not look good to me. It looks like it's going to just continue down and pull one of these numbers. So I would wait on oil, or I would just maybe continue to follow the trend. At the end of the day, you can't go wrong with the trend, because you know trading is this is a good piece. Trading is so emotional, right? And half of the time people get into trades that they're not even willing to really hold or to stay in. I could imagine, unless you have a system. But from the people, you know, who come into Next Wave, or just anyone that we've spoken to, most people, you know, they'll get into a trade they didn't 100% really like map out or whatever, right? And so when you do that, okay, it kind of messes up your psychology. Just it's like it messes it up this much to where you don't even realize it. And when you do it over and over and over and over and over again, it kind of tweaks you a little bit. So try not to do that. I don't want to get too deep off into anything, right? All right, let's go. The VIX. Now this is importante, family. I've been calling out the VIX for a minute. Go back and check that out. After it made the fake M, it started to pop. At this point, we have to be so bullish on this thing. Okay, it doesn't often just stop in the middle of nowhere. Okay, you can see that the VIX really has its spots that it stops at. Okay, it's most likely not just gonna randomly stop right here. We're probably gonna see another pump up to 36 at the bare minimum, 33, 34. Okay, I do see that there is somewhat of a fib right here that it, I mean, yeah, it could stop right here, but I don't really play fibs on the S&P, sorry, the VIX. I don't really play fibs on the VIX for much, and I don't even know why. It's just another experience thing. I've experienced it not playing out a whole lot. It really hits its targets. So you can see here, 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 and here we get this up here. Another target would just be, so regardless, I think if we come down a little bit, we're coming up again. It doesn't, I'm not thinking this is just going to dead reverse. That would mean the indices are literally just going to dead reverse and go to the upside. Now here's the thing that I almost know, that not almost know, but I have a good feeling that this is going to continue up and the indices are going to continue down. Okay, because this is still a good amount away from these targets up here. I would say a 14%. And when this thing moves 14%, the indices move about 3%. Okay, so there's still 14 to 20%, right? That's a good 6% on the indices at bare minimum. When we go into the indices, you can see that they have already broken the lows, almost broken the lows on the S&P, almost broken the lows on the NASDAQ, and it did break the lows on the Dow Jones. So what that's telling me is if that VIX continues to go up another 20%, these guys are going down at least 5 to 6% at the, bare minimum. And most likely when they break these lows, they're going to go a lot further than that. And I'm just going to be generous right there because it's probably going to go a good 10%. And let me just see where these all go to. And, this could be me kind of, no, I really think this is happening. Yeah, this would make sense coming into this level right here. 100% makes sense. Pre-COVID is where we're kind of at right now. So the pre-COVID highs. And if you, I don't know if any of my next wave analysis were on there back then, I don't think, but this is kind of the level I was saying the market was overbought at that level. And then we had this big crash. And I thought that was it. I personally still think the whole freaking country and economy is overpriced. Everything, every business, every stock, all that is overpriced. This needs to continue to move down and find more of a balance in right here into this area before maybe thinking about going up. I think it's possible. I really think it's possible to sweep below these. With the type of recession that we're getting, that's only a 50% correction, guys. It's not out of the picture. It's not. Look at the volume profile to the right. Okay. If price should make its way all the way down here. If it doesn't, it is 100% coming back down here. All All right, so we're expecting downside on the indices, 1,000,000% downside. Like I'm not even trying to play the bulls, maybe in any situation. The only thing I can even freaking think about for the bulls would be just be lower time frame, small retracement like plays. That's it. With confirmations like this, I'm actually here for that. I'm actually here for that. But that's so like just expect to lose on those plays. And if you win, good job. But yeah, I'm bearish on this. The play of the week will be, man, it's actually tough. So, it's tough. The only way I really want to sell it with high probability is if it comes all the way the fuck up here. Excuse my French. But I mean, as a swing, more of a swing trader, to be honest, more of a high probability trader, if anything, I would be wanting to wait for a better price to sell it than just maybe right here. And it's not a bad spot. So this could be the first shot maybe. And if you're wrong here, you kind of know where the market is going to go, right? So something like this could be the first shot at the market, because you've got to take shots or you're never going to hit. So this could be the first shot to make a new low, because that's what we're expecting. New lows, period, the end. Yeah, I agree, AB. So we'll see. There's a couple moves. I'm not going to look at the whole indices. They're all the same. All right. The bond market, guys, I did predict this joker. This joker is literally at above 4%, and that is wild. We're going to be targeting 5% on this still. Until this thing breaks structure, I'm going to just continue to think this is going to do this. Even though there is divergence, there should be a correction. It should just go right back into the 50 EMA and then move up, which this would come up slowly. This would come down slowly, boom. And we'll make our way all the way to 5%. Stock market's going to crash even more. Mortgage rates are going to go out of control in America. It's pretty obvious. Let's go to the monthly and just see how this is about to close in 5 days, guys. We're going to need an absolute turnaround for this not to look so super bullish. It's going to actually have to, let's see, if it wants to leave half of a wick, half of a body, which would be, in my opinion, indecision, not even a reversal candle, it would need to go all the way down here for me to think it's a reversal candle on the monthly. In 5 days, it would need to do this. It's so possible. I'm not even going to freaking cap because of the divergence. There's hella divergence. Oof, this is very interesting. If it does snap from this, this is still an area where the bulls were heavily present. And I mean, 3.5 to come up again, boom. That looks mighty, mighty good. I'm just going to be bullish on everything until the Fed reverses. It's really off the Fed sentiment, guys. So I should expect this to reverse, to correct at least, which could mean a short-term bullish stock market, guys. With this looking this way, that could bring the stock market a short-term bullish signal, just because it is at that low point. But I think the market will price in GDP. So that's another thing we gotta watch out for. Here's another. This is going to end up hitting 4, I believe, but it's just another bond. Once it comes down into this area, we're probably going to see this move. Bitcoin, let's check this out. All right, so we're on the CME futures, and it's at damn near its all-time lows for the year, And we have this weekly or yearly. We'll continue to move that as it moves. We have this divergence fib that hasn't changed. That's still my price, 14.5. Okay, 14,500 for divergence on the daily, or really the weekly as well coming in, but the daily is what we're looking at. So last week We did get a bearish candle that did break the weekly lows, but it wasn't a significant break. So we're really trying to see what's up this week, to be honest. I know on the other chart, it looks a little different. I like to use the CME. It's just a little more, just gives me better read on things, to be honest. I don't even want to get into it. But this does also look like a possible Wyckoff accumulation. So we got to be aware of that. There could be a spring at any moment, guys. And that's what the beautiful thing about this is, that if it goes lower, we're anticipating it to be bulls that step in. We're going to be stepping in, anticipating that the institutions are going to be stepping in as well. We have tons of divergence here. Okay. If the market makes a fast move down, this is going to make a big move down too, and there's still going to be divergence. So I'm here for the divergence. The 4 hour might look a little different. Bringing it right here. Let me check this on the 4 hour. So the daily isn't really giving me much to look at, except, let me put this back. Control Z. Oops. Nope. Nope. Wrong buttons. Okay, whatever. Let's go to the 4 hour. And then, yeah, there is divergence here still. So I'm gonna keep this. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna do it like this. This range, I want to see what that looks like. Yeah. So there might be a short-term opportunity here on Bitcoin if it does make a little spike, but I would be afraid of that. It would probably shoot. It could shoot freaking. This is supposed to be 14.5. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna back off Bitcoin most likely this week. There is a humongous chance, in my opinion, that it can make a swift move to the downside and surprise a lot of people. If it does begin to maybe pop, I will play one wave and then most likely look for a move down. One wave. That's it. Yeah, we'll look at XRP too, because I called that last week, and that's starting to move. Some of the XRP coins that are associated with all that jazz are starting to move too. So yeah, it's not like I don't see this divergence coming in. I definitely do. But with the sentiment of the Fed and everything, this does kind of, anytime the market gets this close to lows like this, I'm not really here to look for buys. I'm looking for manipulation, or I'm looking for impulse. I don't really want to try to like play this right here. Let's go into Ethereum. And I mean, Ethereum is a little bit different because it's not at its lows. It's at a weekly fib. So weekly didn't do much. We're not going to look at the weekly really. It's nothing to look at on that. But let's go to the daily, and you can see this fib that it's at, impulse up here, and ABC, and we've hit the 78.6, and it's reacted. And I don't know. I think it has a chance to go up, but if Bitcoin doesn't go up, the stock market doesn't go up, the dollar continues to go up, these aren't going to go up, right? So kind of trying to pick my battle here on what I really think is going to happen. You know, this 1088 with this monthly and weekly POC, I'm still thinking that's a good price to buy from no matter what. Because that Ethereum hasn't made its move to the lows yet, and Bitcoin has, it's showing the strength in Ethereum. So if I'm looking to buy one, I want to buy Ethereum. If I'm looking to sell one, I want to sell Bitcoin. And that's just my thought process on that. If we get a bigger move out of this, right? If we actually get some structural change in out of this, you know, obviously this is a buying area, somewhat of a Wyckoff accumulative structure. If we get maybe one more move down into this monthly POC, weekly POC, and then like a shift move, some type of a shift move, this would be like a shift down. So if we could get a shift up, that would kind of make me a little bit more bullish. But at this point, I'm waiting, very patient on the cryptos right now. Let's talk about XRP before we get off. Let's get Binance, but I want to do XRP USDT, maybe Binance. Okay. So last week we were looking at Ripple, right? And I said it has this possible double bottom on the weekly. And we were looking at the volume, how it was starting to pick up before this big candle. Okay, before this big candle came in, let's go maybe to the daily. We can see it a little better. In fact, I do want to note this, that this is this is importante. The yearly point of control is right here, and we reacted off it perfectly and then moved out away from it. That is really important that it held there. I have an alert when it comes back. Let's go to the daily. And this is what I was seeing last week, right? We had this Wyckoff accumulation and we had to move up here. And it was basically right here last week. And it started to form this bullish signature on the volume. And so I was like, okay, something could possibly happen, and then boom, breakout, big time breakout. So now we're basically just waiting for this to retrace, low volume retracement, and then this should literally pop another, it should pop up into 70. So you can buy at 40-ish, maybe even 35 if you're lucky, and sell at 70 and be set. And that's a good mark at 70 as well. So really 77 is lit with volume. A lot, three full months worth. So that's where I'm going to be targeting. Let's do a monthly POC up here. That's the target. So really, you can see that there is a little bit of liquidity down here. I'm not expecting price to get all the way down there, just straight up. I'm not. So go to the 4 hour, and I'm expecting there to be some type of a fake down move, most likely, maybe an ABC correction, but then an up move. I had this marked off at before this kind of, and this is what we're really looking at. If it comes all the way down here, depending on how fast it gets there, and depending on how the volume looks, we're taking a stab for sure. But I really like this 40-cent area. Honestly, this last little swing right here is probably what I'm going to be looking at. Something like this. And this looks great to me. Very great. This looks like the best setup of the week besides the yen. The yen looks great as well. I'm going to be playing this. 78.6. Great. All right. So really, there's only two really good looking things to me this week. The yens and XRP. So I don't care what the crypto market does, and I don't think XRP cares either. If it wants to go bullish, it's going to go bullish. If it doesn't want to, it won't. They don't always. The XRP is the coin that doesn't do what the rest of the cryptos do, almost every time. Crypto's going bullish, XRP, nah. Crypto going bearish, XRP, nah. So it would be kind of like a fake of this downtrend line, maybe something like this, right? In a bigger picture of things. So we'll see how that plays out. It would be a damn shame if, you know, it's really supposed to be something like this and it comes and barely stops me out, hits the 78.6 and then goes up. But it does look like to me that there's a lot of strength behind this last wave. Okay, it converged big time. And so if it's going to continue to make big moves, it's most likely not going to need to retrace too damn much. All right. And 78.6 is already asking a lot. Ultimately, if you're brave, you can take this up here, 8.7, right? That's playing it safe. This is playing it hella safe. That's still 3.4. So I do want to maybe look at a little bit of the other cryptos in my portfolio, or my portfolio. Matic. Okay, on the pullback. Tron, Avalanche, everything is on a deep ass pullback. What are some of the other ones? Link is doing okay. That's another one y'all want to watch for right here. Link is outperforming the market. Crow, this is actually one. Okay, it's an exchange and it has a beautiful setup on it. I'm talking, I will be participating. So these type of setups, you risk. I mean, I am going to hold this position. However, if it goes way lower than this, I'm not playing it on margin. But, you know, if I wanted to exit the position, I'd be risking about 5% of my total capital to make almost 35%. So that's no leverage, no nothing. I'm gonna be playing that on Coinbase and stuff. I need that alert big time. I need it right here, so I can set a limit order. Set up limit order. Base. Okay, and then link, same thing, really. It has like that same vibe in the volume right there. So I'm just going to put an alert on link as well. Stellar is similar to XRP in that it's been moving nicely. It's just not as nice in my opinion. So I'm going to hold off. I'm going to play XRP instead. Here's one we got going on. Let's see if Bitcoin Cash is doing anything. Nope. Okay. Algo is doing something. So here's another one that you can put on your watch list for a possible move up. And in my opinion, I think the crypto market is going to start to move in a better direction than all the other markets. I think it has done that in the past. So I'll have to check on that. But I think they're going to move before everything else. Ape, I'm not going to be a part of that nonsense. Sand doesn't look terrible, but doesn't look as good as all the other ones. I don't know what that is, but that's kind of popping. Quant isn't a bad look right now. Quant is outperforming the market as well. So we're going to set something up for this. That could be a little ugly or off, but that's okay. Let's see. Blake, I know you got some. Solana. Okay, yeah, I missed like the top freaking 3. Hold on. Binance, I think it has a shot soon, guys. Okay. You see how Binance isn't even close to the lows of June 2022? And then like Bitcoin is way at these lows of June 2022. And then Ethereum is not close to it either. It's showing that these are stronger. This is just not even, I mean, the strongest, I would say. Cardano is a no. Solana is a maybe, but it's still not as pretty. Let's go to the 1 hour with it. And no, it doesn't have the best price action. If it's going to buy again, it's going to literally, it's going to be like right now. And that's not what we're trying to time, I don't think, right now. Doge is a no, you know, dot, no, Matic. Yes. Matic, yes. Here's one on Matic that we're going to need to look at. It has a little bit more strength to it. And really, you just want to look at stuff with better structure, better, I don't know, geometry, to be honest. It's like, if it doesn't look perfect, literally almost, it's not even worth it. Because if you're going to be a real trader, you're going to be here for a while. You're going to be here for years. You're going to see multiple setups, and then, and so you don't have to play these ugly ass ones. Uniswap. And then also, just like in the stock market, you want to pick good companies that are on sale. So when you're trading current cryptocurrencies, you want to find good cryptos, good projects that are on sale. And the easiest way is to literally go onto the coin market cap, find all of the top 50, do what I did and put them on TradingView, and then you can literally just scale through it once a month to make sure that they're the right ones still. And then those are your top 50. You don't have to look at everything else. If you want to hit home fucking runs, you're going to have to look at everything else. But if you want to just catch nice 50 to 150% trades like on the regular, then you want to stick to these guys. And that's just from straight experience. Does anyone have any, besides Blake? He's given some. This is kind of outperforming the market as well, but it's just not my style. And really, Chainlink isn't even outperforming that much, but it looks like it could. It looks like it could pop. So that's a opportunity to get in before it does that. Crow is the same thing. Like it hasn't even really done the digital dash to the upside, but it still has that lower time frame opportunity. XLM, Stellar, like I said, maybe. I want to go down to the bottom. Quant. Here's another one that if it comes all the way back into here, then it's a good buying opportunity. I don't know if it is anytime soon, but I'm going to alert myself if it does. Stacks is another coin. Hasn't taken off yet. I think it's going to be a good one. The graph is another one. Man, this is cheap. The graph is going to be a good coin. So when it breaks out, man, we're going to have a list of crazy coins to catch. And Next Wave is going to be one of those companies, y'all, that when we call trades, it's going to be over 100% on returns. It's not just going to be like a little baby ass trade. Because when the crypto market starts to go bullish and you know what you're doing, you make really crazy, you make some crazy money. Okay, that's about it for the alerts that I want to stack up on. This could even come down here one more time. So let's look at the dominance charts. Yeah, I mean, for Bitcoin, in my opinion, if it's really going to go up again, it needs to come down into my fib levels, into better pricing, into where the demand really stepped in. Even like all the way down here is where the demand was. So it needs to come all the way back into there. And that means if Bitcoin does, the demand for the dominance drops all the way down here, we're going to see a drop in Bitcoin. Ethereum dominance. Let's see this. Okay, this is perfectly lining up with what we want to see with Ethereum as well. So if Ethereum can get down into this dominance level, I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. That would line up with what I want to see on Ethereum. Oh. The other dominance chart isn't doing much for me. The total market cap isn't doing much for me. Just hanging out looking like Bitcoin. The US DT dominance is what I've been reading to correlate with Bitcoin going up and down and whatnot. And it's kind of just in an area where, to be honest, it's hit some heavy resistance, and it does have a little bit of bearish divergence with it. So, And all in all, this looks like it could reject here and come down. If that's the case, Bitcoin's going up. So I'm seeing a lot of mixed signals here. If this does break this, well, Bitcoin is about to really drop, because there's not much holding it back up here. If it would have to literally do something like this, or else Bitcoin is really going to drop. Because if it doesn't do this, that means it's going to do this, and that will send Bitcoin to levels, guys, that you don't want to see. I don't want to see them either, to be honest, right now. I need millions and millions of dollars if Bitcoin's going to go down and hit those type of levels. But we are really interested to see if this is going to move up like this, because that would send a wave down on Bitcoin. Or if this moves up, fake move, and then kind of comes back down into this level where we've seen price respect before. If this is the case, the second scenario, well, then Bitcoin is going to do a fake move down and then a bullish move up. So we'll be able to correlate these with the dominance, with the price action of Bitcoin, with the volume, with the divergence. We're gonna have extreme high probability with everything. And like I said, if this happens on Bitcoin and we see a flush out and then an instant move up, we would obviously be, expecting this type of move. That would mean Tether would do the opposite. So Bitcoin does move, fake move down, big move up. Fake move up, big move down. If we get both of these, this and this, it's a pretty high probability that Bitcoin's about to start to move back up. Like on a higher, longer macro perspective. Especially if this kind of dips into this and respects this and starts to move back up here, well then, yeah, we're really going to be bullish on Bitcoin. But we really need to see the Fed reverse its sentiment. We need to see the dollar reverse as well. There's a lot of things to put into perspective other than just the technicals right now, because of where we are at in the macro perspective of things. So that is it. Gala, let's look at Gala real quick, but that's it really for the analysis. Let's look at Gala USD. And it's not quite yet ready, in my opinion, at all, but it's at the best pricing you can get it ever, 4 cents. And it has been quite expensive at one point. And this is really, if you know anything about market psychology, this is the best chart you ever can see, where it just gets to a point where no one's going to want to buy it anymore. That's where it usually starts to pop again. And I could see this going to 20 cents so easily, and that is 5xing your money. So I like that. But y'all have a good one, guys. We'll have a good week. I like the way the market looks. It needs to do a couple certain things, but really the JPY is going to be my focus for the week. If it wants to go up again, we might see a drop. Now, I will say one more thing. This might not be the one we want to trade just because of how bullish the dollar is, but it's still an opportunity, guys. This is an opportunity on UJ I do want to talk about. With the dollar being so bullish, that's what makes it not high probability. But we did get this move right here that completely took out these highs. And I'm just going to highlight it right here. We took out those highs right there. And after that, the market made a shift to the downside. Boom, big shift. And with that type of momentum, that type of manipulation, the 1, 2, and then we're getting the slow correction for 3. I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna tell you, with UJ, with the dollar being so bullish, is most likely going to continue up, and that's okay. But I just love the way it looks. It actually looks like a perfect Wyckoff distribution. So we're gonna play it, and we're going to see how it goes. It's going to be one that you would want to hold all the way to the extension, because this is either really the right move or not, right? It's not one you just want to hold for 1-to-1. So it'd be like this coming down into something like this. And what we really look for is where the next area of liquidity is. So there's a ton down here, which, what do you know, lines up right with the 61.8. Let's see if there's any on the 4-hour. Yes, there's some here and here. So you might want to take some partials there and then take the rest off down there. That would work out. Let's see if there's any on the daily. All the way down here. So we're not going to target that low though, because it's already risky enough. Let's see what the weekly candle looked like. The weekly did give some rejection. So it's a straight up possibility, just like I said on the other yen. Let's look at some other yen pairs. Ooh, boy, oh boy. So that joker fell out hard. This would obviously be a better probability, most likely, with the GDP being so bearish. So this is something we all need to watch out for at this point. Supply on the yen or the GJ right here. I think this looks mighty fine right there. So sells on GJ when it pulls up. Same thing, EJ sells. Yeah, that one looks really good as well. It'll really be which one gets there first, and then whichever one gets there last will probably be the one I want to play. AJ, I'm not a fan of AJ too much. CAD JPY looks very good as well. It had this fake move up, and now it's going down, down, down. They all look very good to me. It's just kind of pick your poison. Ooh, CHF might be the one to play. This looks pretty darn good too, with the even better manipulation in my opinion, and even better move down. So wow, I don't ever trade this pair, but when it looks like that, I think it's something you should take note of. But all right, that's it guys. That really is it this time. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.